Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Friday evening, and I hope you tune in tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, for our live stream. And we have the Dallas Cowboys with our rookies having their rookie mini camp today and tomorrow. They've, of course, already arrived. They're getting fit with the jerseys and their helmets and everything else and becoming part of the Dallas Cowboys. We already have Tyler Booker, who has now signed his rookie deal, $22.5 million with $13 million fully guaranteed. And we have the Dallas Cowboys still working on the roster, trying to figure out who is going to be the number 2 wide receiver. We've talked about Amari Cooper, and I told you guys, in my mind, forgive me, I'm not on the board with everybody else that thinks that Amari Cooper instantly makes us a great team. I've given you the warts that I think there are with Amari Cooper. One, how he was run out of town, and two, how Amari Cooper has a lot of injuries, and three, sometimes Amari Cooper just seems to lose attention. Then the brand new flavor in your ear, actually he's not that new, is Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, who is 33 years of age. I've also pointed out that the Cowboys and all the moves they've made this year have been working on getting the team in the roster younger. Dak Prescott, believe it or not, is the oldest player on our roster with 31. You've got like Brandon Aubrey and Dante Fowler and a couple other players that are at 30. There's 5 total at 30, but everybody else is at 20-something. And so you start thinking about Keenan Allen, who is 33, that this is a short-term fix, if it's a fix at all. So now people are looking around trying to see who might be available and who the Cowboys might go ahead and do. Now, hopefully the Cowboys are doing the same thing. Now, here's the thing. We all know that the Cowboys covet their draft picks. So they're not going to want to give up high draft capital. They're not going to want to give up a 1 or a 2 for somebody. So that takes some of these out of the marketplace, like a Tyreek Hill or something like that, or a premier wide receiver. They're not going to want to spend a whole lot there. And the Cowboys are cheap monetarily wise, that they're not going to want to spend a whole lot of cash either. So what that says is you want to trade for a veteran that's probably still on their rookie deal and has a contract in place that is somewhat established but not incredibly established. Because if they're incredibly established, if they're one of the premier ones, you have to spend more draft capital. Excuse me. The other part of the equation that you got to look at is, did a team find a playmaker that's in front of them in the draft, and they look and say, we can get rid of this guy? So here's where Alex K has kind of come up with a potential trade candidate, and Quentin Johnston as a potential trade candidate identified to the Cowboys as a possible landing spot. With the Dallas Cowboys desperate for wide receivers now, we are. There's a chance the Chargers could get at least a mid-round pick, okay? Now we're talking, 4th round. The Cowboys love to get rid of the 4th-round picks, which is, by definition, the pick that's in the middle. Between 1 and 7, 4 is in the middle. Quentin Johnston is 23. That fits my bill right there. He's 23 years old, which is good because then he's got plenty of years that he can hopefully do better. Is on a cheap contract, okay? Yeah. Cheap contract, rookie contract still because he's 24, had a 13-catch, 186-yard explosion on the regular season finale, displaying upside that could boost his value during trade talks. Okay, I'm intrigued so far. The Chargers selected Johnson in the 1st round of the 23 draft, but he has been seen as a significant disappointment. After logging just 38 catches for 431 yards and a couple of touchdowns during his rookie campaign, he caught 55 for 711 yards and 8 scores in 24, which is certainly not what the Bolts expected when they nabbed him 2 years ago. So 1st-round pick, he's been a bit of a disappointment. Wow, does that sound familiar? a bit of a disappointment. Wide receiver. I don't. Something is. It's like on the tip of my tongue or top of my head. Have we been there before? Jonathan Mingo. Oh, second round pick and a bit of disappointment. Okay. Of course, the Chargers themselves are still relatively thin at wideout, as there's no guarantee on either Harrison or Lambert are going to materialize. However, if LA's out to sign Keenan Allen and signs Keenan Allen, it would make that much more likely that Johnston gets dealt. So, okay. Didn't know that Keenan Allen was part of the mix here. The Cowboys certainly need depth at receiver behind CeeDee Lamb, so Dallas would unquestionably make sense for the destination for Johnston in the event of a trade. So we're back to the speculation, y'all. Okay. So let's look at his numbers here. What we have in the 2 years, again, let's get his specs. 6'4", big frame, 215 pounds. 6'4", big target, you would think would be a possession receiver. Has 10 TDs in his career, 1,142 yards on 93 receptions. Yeah, it would be an interesting possibility. His contract, let's look at Quentin's contract. Being a rookie first-round pick, you'd still have 2 more years of his contract and a 5th-year option. He signed a 4-year, $14 million contract with the Chargers. So you can't even negotiate his contract until the end of this year. So this is one of those ones that I don't know why. Let me play devil's advocate. If I'm the Chargers here, he's got 700 some odd yards last year, and his contract is only costing me $3.8 million this year and $4.5 next year. I'm not sure that Keenan Allen's price tag is going to be more than this. If they end up trading him, there's no savings. If they trade him pre-June 1st, you're taking his salary as a dead hit. You follow me, right? His $3.869 million, you're taking $3.659. So you're saving $200,000. You're basically just saying it's a wash. We're just getting rid of him just to get rid of him and try and get a pick. If it's post June 1st, at least you save $2 million. I'm not sure that this is going to be one that's really that advantageous to say, okay, we're going to get a 5th round or a 4th round pick from the Cowboys. That contract right now is dirt cheap. But hey, it's being talked about. So there's that. Alrighty, good people. The speculation is here, and I'm sure it won't be the first and it won't be the last. So we'll keep on keeping on. Quentin Johnston, nicknamed Q Money. All right, Q Money. Interesting prospect. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you all. Peace out.